Peter, thank you, Peter Barnes down in Washington.
Okay, guys.
And joining us now from Washington, D.C. is Republican Senator John Hoeven from North Dakota. Senator, Peter went through some of the math. You were one of the Republican senators that signed on and voted in favor of that $7 billion supplemental funding for FEMA just a couple of weeks ago. And then, poof, lo and behold, FEMA just finds out that, oh, we don't need at least additional emergency funding to get us through the end of the week. Do you feel snookered at all?
Well, first off, the funding that I voted for disaster assistance, we do need. We also voted for offsets. And remember, this covers 2 years, both 2011 and 2012. And we're working on both years.
But do you feel like there was this sense of urgency to give FEMA more money to get it through the end of the week at least, and then it magically comes up with the money? Do you... I mean, were you told everything that you needed to know to vote in favor of that $7 billion supplemental funding bill?
We were working hard to make sure we got the information, got an accounting of what funding was there. We want to make sure there is adequate funding for disaster assistance, and at the same time, we're working for offset or savings to pay for it. That's one of the reasons we asked for the accounting, to find out what dollars were there and what's needed.
Well, what offsets are you in favor of? Because, again, the offsets that the House Republicans were pushing for in terms of reducing the energy or making budget cuts to these energy programs was not in what was voted on in the Senate.
Right. The way the package ended up passing last night is that we approved $2.65 billion for FEMA for fiscal 12. So now that's the bill that will go back to the House. The $1 billion that was in there for FY11 included offsets that the House had put in. I supported those offsets in the Senate. Senate Democrats did not approve finding those savings, so that part was dropped out. The $2.65 billion is in there. Again, we need to make sure that we have disaster assistance for the people in our state and around the country that need it, whether it's flood, fire, tornado. At the same time, with this deficit, we want to work to find savings or offsets in other areas to pay for it.
Moving on to the economy, because you just recently wrote a piece about North Dakota being recession-proof. Right. And again, starting in 2001, when you first took office as governor, you go through what you did in the country, but how much of that do you believe what you did in that state is applicable to the nation as a whole? Because North Dakota, you'll admit, has certainly benefited from the higher energy prices and energy development in the state.
No question about it, but that's just one part of our economy. The title recession-proof was not my title, by the way. We are working very hard in North Dakota to create the kind of business climate that stimulates private investment and job creation. That is exactly what we need to do at the federal level, and we can do it. That's the work we're trying to do right now. And that's the debate that you see. Is it about more spending, more taxes, more regulation, which is the direction the administration is going, or do you create an environment, like I believe we need to do, that stimulates private investment and job creation in the private sector?
Senator, thank you so much for being here. Senator John Hoeven from the fine state of North Dakota. Be well, sir.
Thank you, Dagen.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right, well, crazy day in the